today is going to be the 6th straight session where markets will be closing in the red. Remember, there's been selling which is coming across the board, so it's not restricted to benchmarks or the broader market indices. We've seen Nifty now coming off nearly 1,000 points from the highs of 11,170 that one saw. On the downside, definitely we were watching for the 200-day moving average, but that's not been breached. So this is how the closing figures are looking like. Nifty is going to close with cuts of nearly 85 points, 10,162. Remember now, the 200-day DMA of 10,130 will be in focus for tomorrow's session. Bank Nifty, this is the one which has been dragging the index lower from the likes of ICICI Bank, State Bank of India, or even if you look at the smaller banks like Canara Bank, those have been reeling under pressure. In fact, today Andhra Bank also saw sharper cuts. From the broader markets, Nifty Mid-Cap Index, so selling pressure seen for the broader markets as the Nifty Mid-Cap Index also saw cuts of about 1.5%. Even the small cap index today will be closing with deep losses. But besides that, we've got the market breadth here. When we opened, it was in favor of the declines, but look at this, how it progressed throughout the session. Towards the end, there was a yawning gap, and this tells you from the broader market perspective, there was more selling which came in because everything was in favor of the declines. These are the closing numbers. So 215 advances to 1379 declines that one saw in today's trade. The volatility which was up, in the last two sessions, today we did see India VIX correcting a bit, but this is the contributors chart which is telling you what dragged the index lower. So let me start off with the losers. Reliance, which off late has been under pressure, dragged the index lower by 16 points. ICICI Bank, SBI, the list is being dominated, A, by heavyweights and B, by the financials that we've been mentioning. But if you sum all of this, it doesn't give you a clear picture because the selling now is across the board. So there were hardly any gainers that you got to see, and definitely the gainers were on the IT side. So HCL was up in trade today. ITC, Maruti Suzuki, Kotak were a couple of other gainers in today's session. India VIX is the other one I was talking about. So that's closing with cuts of 3.5%. So some respite when it comes to volatility, because in the last two sessions that surged quite significantly. Let's look at the turnover then. How was the participation? Definitely higher than yesterday, because yesterday the F&O turnover was somewhere about 7.7, and today we've seen 8.6 lakh crore of turnover coming from the F&O side. 30,600 for NSE cash. Now this is the figure, I think it's highest in last 5 to 6 sessions, because it was hovering somewhere between 24,000 to 28,000. One concern which the traders have been highlighting, that the turnover from the cash side has been declining. Remember, there was a trend during Feb when the cash turnover was somewhere about between 40,000 to 42,000 crore. In terms of sectoral performances today, the sectoral losers, Nifty PSU Bank, Nifty Pharma and the Nifty Realty, all three of them saw sharper cuts coming about. But it was the FMCG pack actually which was bucking the trend. Remember, it is a defensive space. In times like this, when you see a lot of selling pressure coming in the markets, there is some sort of cushioning which comes on the FMCG side. So Nifty FMCG was the sole sectoral gainer for the day. 26,067 is where it closed.